I need to get out of here. I changed back into my normal clothes as quietly as I could. I didn't want to make too much noise, and I certainly wasn't going to leave my clothes here or keep wearing the ones he gave me. Not after. I still didn't know where my phone was. Oh, God. But that didn't matter. As long as I could get out quickly and quietly, I wouldn't have to worry, right? When I was sure I was ready, I approached the door. I quietly turned the handle and pushed it open. It was pitch black in the apartment. I couldn't see an inch in front of my own face. The front door, it's not that far, right? If I just took my time, taking slow step after step, surely I could make it out without notice. I took a step forward, holding my breath like my life depended on it, because it must have at this point. Step, step, step. I reached my arms in front of me so I could feel for the door as soon as it was in front of me. Step, step, step. Is Reginald a light sleeper? Is he even on the couch like he said he would be? I can't hear him snoring or even breathing. Step, step, stop. I felt the wood of the door. Carefully, quietly, I trailed my hands to the doorknob. It's locked. Of course, you'd always lock your apartment at night. I unlocked it since I was on the inside. It's stuck? No. No. Please don't do this to me. I can't stay here. It's open. Thank goodness. Mary. He's behind me. I can feel his breath on the back of my neck. What are you doing up? I'm just trying to find the bathroom. Mary. Is your memory really that bad? I could have sworn that I told you. I can tell when you're lying. I ran as fast as my legs would carry me, trying my best not to trip over any of the junk in the halls. I yelled out for help, hoping that someone would hear. I made my way to the staircase, stepping as fast as I could. I still didn't seem fast enough. I felt like I was choking on my own adrenaline. I had to catch my breath at least for a second. Oh! I felt a sharp pain in my head. There was a quick-time event, and I can't remember anything except for that. Huh? Where am I? What happened? Ugh. My head. Wait. It was Reginald, Oh, God. Oh, no. What's happening? I tried to move, but I'm restrained. I tried to yell, but my mouth is sealed shut. Perhaps it's better if I don't yell. It might let him know that I'm awake. But what am I supposed to do? I have to get out of here. I heard footsteps near the door. Ah, you're awake. Thought you might be waking up around now. Good morning, sunshine. How are you doing? You've had quite a night, haven't you? You must be so exhausted. What is this? I couldn't say anything. My mouth is taped shut. Ah, right. I suppose you can't say much like that, can you? I'd take that tape off of you if you promised not to yell, but, that's never worked for me in the past, has it? But I mean, you and I, we've got such a connection. I'm sure I could decipher what it is you're trying to tell me. No. That sounds silly, doesn't it? It makes me sound like I'm crazy. But it doesn't change the fact that I can understand you. So go on. Tell me what it is you want to say. What are you going to do with me? What am I going to do? Oh, darling, don't be so scared. I'm not going to hurt you. I mean, not after that incident on the stairwell. But no. This is a good thing. A great thing, actually. Though I understand you can't see that. But you will, soon. Then maybe you can begin to understand. You know, Mary, this is really nice. Being able to really talk to you. Isn't that so nice? It feels so natural, so freeing. You can't see it that way, can you? That's so sad. And after all I've done, the me that's before you right now, you don't even know him. I must look like a completely different person in your eyes. That is tragic, truly. You don't know me. You never ever know me. And the real me is someone you wish you didn't. How much longer am I going to keep doing this? I hope this is the end, but despite it making me so miserable, there's something about it that I love too. Maybe it's just because you're part of it all, you know? No matter how many times it happens. At least you're always something to look forward to. What am I saying? You can't even understand a bit of that, can you? I can. Aha! Even like this, you've got a sense of humor? That's just darling. Or maybe that's just you. Well, to keep it short, let's just say that I adore you. Say, Mary. Well, I'm just curious. How much do you know about me? Or perhaps it's more appropriate to say, how much do you think you know about me? I think I know you a lot. Really? I wonder if that's true. Or if you just think that's what's true. I mean... You know, Mary, despite what you may be thinking of me now, I did so much to try and make you happy. You love funerals so much, so I tried to provide you with as many as I could. It's as you've said, there is something wonderful in the process, and I couldn't agree more. Now, don't give me that look. It was all for you. But of course, you don't appreciate it, do you? I mean, it's not as if you ever do. I try so hard, and for what? You're never satisfied. If it never works, then maybe it's time for a change, and I should start trying something else instead. I'm so sorry. I'm scaring you again, aren't I? I didn't mean to ramble. It's just, I don't get many opportunities to really talk to you like this, so I tend to take advantage of times like these. But that's stressing you, isn't it? I'll stop now. You should get some rest after all. As I said, you must be so exhausted, and you'll probably appreciate having that energy later. We've got a big day ahead of us. Enjoy your last morning here, even if you must joy to sleep. Well, I think I've said enough. Once again, I apologize. I did not mean to ramble so long. I'm just going to finish setting up everything. It won't take too long, so don't go anywhere. Ha. I felt tears begin to roll down my face. This can't be it. This can't be it. There's got to be something else. Some way out of here. I can't just... Something, please. Anything. Please help me. I just need to get out of here. This can't be how it ends for me. Please, please help me. Well, since you asked so nicely, was the text on the screen just now. Look at her silhouette. She's got a smile. Huh. What happened? I'm free? Well, not free, but... I shouldn't think about it right now. I have to focus on getting out of here. Okay, be calm about this. What's the first step? Pull the tape off. I reached up towards my mouth to pull the tape off, but quickly stopped myself. If it hurts and I scream, then Reggie will be alerted right away. That's the last thing I want to happen. I'll just have to leave it on for now. Let's grab the rope. There's nothing I need to use that for right now. Fine, window. We certainly don't want to go out the door. I stepped towards the window and looked out. It was still dark outside. I had hoped that since this was an apartment, there might be a fire escape on the window I could use to get down. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything of the sort attached to this window. But it looked as if it was my only shot in getting out of here. But how? Check the wardrobe. I stepped out carefully to the wardrobe. I tried to be light on my feet. I didn't want Reggie to know I was walking around. Thankfully, the wardrobe was not locked. I tried to prevent it from creaking as I opened it up. Yes, there's more rope in here. This should hopefully be enough to get me to the bottom. Even though things were looking up right now, I started to hear Reggie's footsteps stomp outside. I have to get out of here before he gets back. Hurriedly, I tied one end of the rope to the exposed pipe. I had hoped it would be sturdy enough to hold my weight and that the knot I tied would be secure enough to not fall apart. I tossed the other end out the window. The rope seemed close enough to the ground for me to get out safely enough. Well, here goes nothing. Ow. It's a good thing my mouth was still covered. Good job, Mary. You brave soul. I did not expect to slide down so fast on such a rough rope. Ow. I felt it tear through my skin like scissors on wrapping paper. Ah, don't make that analogy. It's fine. I just have to be more careful. Going down the rest of the way. I made it to the bottom somehow. Aside from the raw and slightly bloody skin on my hands, I was safe. I was safe. I had to keep it that way. Oh my god, this poor girl. I ran out of the alley I had escaped into and out into the street. Once I was out, I noticed the sun finally starting to rise in the sky. Hearing him say earlier that we had a big day ahead of us, it made me wonder if that was his alarm to come back and get me. I wonder if he knows I'm gone by now. The further I got down the sidewalk, the more people I began to see lining the streets, people getting ready to leave for work, sanitation workers starting on their routes. It made me feel safer. I began to remove the tape from my mouth. I just ripped it off all at once and tried to keep from letting more tears follow the pain. I tossed it out onto a street trash can and then... Maybe I should have contacted help first, but I was so tired. I just wanted to go home. I kept my hands hidden and folded the entire time as I got onto the bus. I didn't want anyone to see and start asking me about it. I'd take care of it once I got home. Home. I couldn't get there soon enough. The ride back to the stop felt like forever, and on top of that, I still had to walk to the cabin. Even though my hands felt like they were on fire, I felt a strange sense of calmness as the leaves and grass and sticks of the forest floor crunched under my feet. Like nothing could hurt me here, even though I knew that wasn't true. Before I knew it, the cabin was in my sight again. Is that... Croven. Outside, smoking on the porch. I thought he went out last night. Whatever, it doesn't matter now. Croven, I called out. My voice still felt a little weak, but I think it was just because of how exhausted I was. Croven, Croven. He picked his head up to look at me, and ran over when he did. Seeing his expression, I couldn't help but start to cry. I had let a few tears escape here and there, but now, finally feeling complete safety, I guess I couldn't help but just let it all out. I tried to explain to him what had happened as best as I could, though I feel my thoughts were scrambled and probably didn't make much sense altogether. I tried to tell him about Reggie, about how I thought he was my friend and that I trusted him, how I found things that belonged to me in his room and how he tied me up, how my hands got all scarred up from my escape and that it was my only way out. He listened to all of it without saying a word, just that look of bewilderment on his face. When I was finished is when he finally spoke. Hey, hold on for a second. I watched him swing around the back of the house and heard the clang and noise of a few objects. Then he walked out back front to meet me. Hey, Mary. Where did you say this friend of yours lives? I just want to talk. What? I stopped Croven from doing anything heinous. I begged him that, even though the police aren't always the best option, to please call them in this scenario. He agreed to do so. Good Lord. What a bonus image. Perhaps I shouldn't have been there during the police investigation, but I felt like I had to be. Besides, I needed to be able to show them where he was keeping me. But wouldn't you know, it was the strangest thing, because as if It was as if Reginald had completely disappeared. It wasn't just as if he was gone, but everything surrounding him was gone too. His car, sure, but all his personal belongings as well. The books he had, pictures he had, everything in the vanity, and not even just that. All his cabinets were empty as well as his fridge. No clothes in the closets. It was as if this was an apartment up for sale. I overheard one of the officers' walkie-talkies. Supposedly, the little workshop he ran was empty too. How could this be? It had only been a little over an hour since all this happened. There's no way that's enough time to pack up everything and just leave without a trace. In the midst of the investigation, I noticed an envelope clearly left on the floor. All of the officers seemed to step around it as if they couldn't see it, but it was in plain sight. I picked it up. It's been a few weeks since then. Things are back to the way they were before I met him. I don't see any crazy symbols anymore, or get weird bouts of pain and dizziness as a result. That intense pressure I used to feel, it's like a far-off dream now. Reginald is gone. He's simply gone. Nothing that belonged to him is here anymore. No one saw him leave, and some of his neighbors don't even seem to remember him. Like they had no idea that neighbor, despite him claiming to have lived there so many years, it almost felt like he never existed at all. But I know that's not true. Reginald was definitely here, and was as real as anybody else. In other better news, the rate of deaths in town has sharply decreased, and no one spreads rumors of a crazy killer anymore. I'm happy about that. I haven't received any messages from the mysterious number, though. Every time I send something out, I never get a reply anymore. It's like all the people I knew are disappearing. Just like Mom and Dad. I said everything that belonged to Reginald disappeared, but that's not true. Not everything did. The envelope left on the floor of his apartment. It contained a note. Addressed to me. Mary, I must have given you quite a fright. You looked so scared of me. I wish I could say I wasn't used to seeing that face. I understand that none of this is going to make any sense to you. It hardly makes sense to me. But I hope you can believe me when I say that what I did, it was only because I truly cared about you so much. And I know that even if you were able to see my reasoning, you wouldn't agree. And that's because you're such a good person. But I am not. However, that's never stopped you from being my friend before, so the next time we meet, I hope we'll continue to stay that way. Yours forever, Reginald. Dear Reginald, you're right. I don't understand why you did what you did, and I guess I'll never know now. But even knowing the truth about you, I wish I could say it was easy to say goodbye. It isn't. Not even a little bit. It just feels like I lost a friend, and it's miserable. I wish I could understand why you did all that, but I just can't. So I hope the next time we meet, you'll explain it to me. And that's the good end, called I'll Be Waiting for Your Mail. And now we should get a congratulatory message. And we will skip through right now in order to see what happens. I'd like to know what happens if we duck. If I can master that QuickTime event. Let's try that. Oh! I did it. What did you just try to drop on me, Reginald? Sorry. I just grabbed the first item I could find. It wouldn't have hurt that bad, I promise. I kept running. No more time for breaks. I had to get away. Did anyone hear my calls for help? Did any of them even care? I hoped that at least someone called the police and that they were on their way. God, I couldn't run fast enough. I pushed open the heavy front doors, hoping that once I was out I could lose him somewhere in the streets, but... Crap! I scrambled to get out of his grip, Punching him in the face caused him to drop me, and I heard his glasses fly off onto the sidewalk as I continued to run. I tried yelling out for help again, but my voice, it felt like it was lost. The more I tried to force the words out of me, the more my body felt incapable of doing so. It was like I was in a dream. Even though I kept trying to run, it felt difficult all of a sudden. Like wading through waves, each step felt like it was dragging me down. Did he chloroform her? Or he got a hold of her. I began to slow to a walk, but I couldn't stop moving. I couldn't stop. I had to keep going, just one foot in front of the other, as long as I don't stop. My walking began to slow. I toppled over, but I still kept moving. On my hands and knees, I kept trying to get away. I could hear him, walking up behind me, step by step, at a leisurely pace, taking his time. He wasn't in any rush. He didn't have to worry. Darling, that's no way to get anywhere. He sounded so smug about it. Aren't you tired of trying to run away? Come here. I felt him grab me by my waist and lift me into the air as if I weighed nothing at all. Suddenly he was carrying me. Now, isn't that better? Don't you feel better now that you're resting? You don't have to worry anymore, darling. Why not close your eyes? You'll feel even better then. I'm sure of it. I didn't want to. I didn't want to sleep. I didn't want to be with him, but I had no choice. I could feel myself slipping out of consciousness. Please, somebody, come help me. And we end up back in the room. So, kind of interested in the what is this here? Are you behind the inscriptions? Oh, I don't think you should ask about any of that silly stuff. After all, if you do, you may wind up in a position similar to mine. What? And I don't think that it'd exactly work well for either of us. So please don't worry about all of that trouble. It's got nothing to do with you. Well, you know, Mary, this is really nice. What do you mean? Interesting that when I try to call Twyla's number at the movie theater, that there's no answer. I wonder if something happened to her after she completely spazzed on Mary in front of Reginald. Okay, we've made it back to his apartment scene. This is us going there after the rain. She just got changed into pajamas and has stepped outside. Lights are not off yet. He's nowhere to be found. I knocked on his bathroom door just to make sure he wasn't using it, but there was no answer. It was then that I noticed a note that had fallen in front of his front door. Mary, so sorry to leave you alone this morning. Oh, this is the next day after all. Okay. So just like normal, it's just we leave the apartment. It's been a few days since then. Nothing all that eventful has happened, though I guess when it comes to me, that's probably a good thing. I haven't gotten any new messages from that strange number in days. It's a bit worrying, since I don't know any more about my parents' whereabouts than I did before. I'm trying not to dwell on it too much. It's been difficult, though. I've been very alone with my thoughts recently. I had been spending so much time with Reggie lately. I forgot how sad I can get when I'm all by myself. Reggie. It's not that he's been ignoring me or anything. In fact, he messages me almost every day. But all he really tells me is that he's been so busy lately. Not like I can blame him. It seems like he's always been taking time off to see me recently. It's no wonder he's so backed up. He always says he wants to see me again soon, but he has to take care of things first. I hope he gets them all done soon. But no, it's fine. I don't mind that much. It's not always bad to be alone, right? I've just been sitting at home. Or rather, the cabin. Although it's still not home. I must admit that there's few things cozier than watching the sunset from the windows. I was about to start getting changed into pajamas when... A message? From Twyla? I opened my messages app. I was receiving multiple texts from Twyla, spamming themselves one after another. No, not Mary. I said 911. Is this speech text? Ducking phone, getting me killed. 4th Avenue, 4th Avenue. What? Whoa, what was this? Is Twyla trying to call 911? 4th Avenue? Is she okay? I have to go make sure. Waiting for the bus to arrive, I had dialed 911. Luckily, the bus still runs at this hour. I told the authorities about how I think someone I know is in danger. They said they'd send out a team right away. I don't know why I'm going. I guess I'm just really worried. So Twyla's still alive. Twyla was investigating the killer after all, and even though I don't know her overly well, for someone like Twyla to call the police, she must be in danger. And I said I would help her, right? Maybe if I had been there to help her, then she wouldn't be in danger now. I started to run as soon as I got off the bus. Now, keep in mind, this is the bad ending of the Reginald route that I'm pursuing right now. And after this, we will be delving into Twyla's route to experience all the nuances and unique perspectives that one offers. And we will be following a spoiler-free guide to get the true ending after the events of that route. I couldn't see any police. What happened to that team they supposedly sent out? It felt like no one was on the streets right now, including Twyla. Suddenly I felt like I couldn't breathe. I ran up and down the streets trying to find her. I wanted to call out her name, but we'd better save in this 6th slot. I was scared an unintended party might hear. All I could do was run down the sidewalks and glance down every alley I could see, hoping to find her, when... Mary, what are you doing out at this hour? Reggie? I need your help. Huh? What's the matter? What's happened? It's Twyla. She's in danger. She tried calling the police but called me instead. She's not answering any of my messages, and I called the police for her, but I don't see them anywhere, and it's my fault. I should have been there, and Whoa. Calm down now. It's alright to be worried about her, but if you think she's in danger, then you really shouldn't be out here. I have to be. I have to make sure she's safe. What if she's in danger? What if she encountered the Blackwood Butcher? Well, isn't that even more of a reason not to be outside? You have to help me look for her. Pardon. Please, Reg, we gotta find her. It could literally be a matter of life and death. Mary, that's... Please, Reggie. I spun around him and started tugging on his arm. We have to find her. The longer we wait, the worse the situation can get. Mary, let go. Please. Huh? Something fell out of Reggie's jacket and onto the sidewalk. A pair of bloody scissors. Huh? That's... Mary. I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't have time to process any of it. But I knew I had to get away. I ran and ran as fast as my legs could carry me. I was hoping to lose him in the alleyways, but in trying to get lost, there was something that I found. Suddenly, Reggie was pinning me against the wall. Mary, my dear, why are you making that face? Wasn't she so mean to you? She made you cry. Don't you remember that? Why did you come out here? I feel as though you're doing this on purpose. Are you doing this on purpose, Mary? Is this funny to you? Maybe I should make things hilarious then. I couldn't understand what was happening. Reggie, this isn't the Reggie I know. Reggie was so nice to me. Reggie was my friend. He was my friend. This hand around my neck, just who does it belong to? I wanted to do it cleaner, you know? As clean as I've been doing it. Unfortunately, she didn't give me much of an option. But that's fun, isn't it? She's a fun one, isn't she? Real fun. But don't feel left out. Now that you've caught me, we can finally have some of our own fun. Because I know what you'll do. The second you're out of my sight, you'll tattle on me. And, well, I just can't have that. So how will I silence you? Well, I just cleaned my scissors, you know. I'll miss that pretty voice of yours. But it won't be for long. But you've got those pesky little hands of yours too, don't you? Those hands that know how to write and sign and tear my life apart. It's alright. We can take those too. I know you don't understand it yet, but don't you worry. I promise you that it's for the best. Now why don't you open that pretty little mouth of yours? It'll be over quicker if you do. What is all this? What's happening? This isn't Reggie. This can't be Reggie. This doesn't make any sense. Let me go. Put me down. Suddenly, he kneed me right in the stomach. Holding me against the wall, he forced his hand right into my mouth and pulled my tongue out. Don't worry. It will only take a second. Jesus Christ. Bad end. Not quite the cat. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. And reading through the guide, it says that I must have unlocked the good or bad ending of that route first. So, looks like we're going to experience just getting Twyla's good and bad endings before we really continue on with getting the true ending. I promise it will be as immersive as I can make it as we skip through everything that we've already seen. So, looking at Mary's room while we have the opportunity before we go into her parents' room, I just want to look at her stuff. She has a really cute doll here on the left side and this amazing anime poster, gothic anime type poster. I love it. She's got a really nice 4-poster bed. And on the right, we've got a Blackout Hospital, which I believe is actually a large project that Arcadekitten, the creator of this game, is working on now. We've got a really cute nurse, or magical girl, rather, figurine. I don't know why I said nurse. I guess because of the white. Picture of... That looks like it's supposed to be Mary and Croven, but that's Mary with really long hair. Maybe she used to have really long hair. Or maybe this is a nod to a future version of Mary. I think she probably just had really long hair when she was a little girl. We have a sad pony, a very gothic emo My Little Pony. My emo pony. We have the plush that Reginald ends up stealing from this room. The rose in a vase. A candelabra. A ballerina music box, bottle of perfume, a pink alpaca doll, a Bambi with a heart, or an arrow through its heart, and another snow globe with a caterpillar. Sense of familiarity made me so calm. I wished I was able to take some of the stuff back home with me, but I didn't have anything to carry it in. When was the last time I was even in this room? Aw. This is all new text for me. I remember my mom wishing me a good night one day and then disappearing the very next. I hadn't heard from them since. They could be dead right now and I wouldn't even know. I didn't want to think about that. Or could I really ignore the possibility if it meant? I just hated this situation I was in, every little thing about it. I wanted to scream, but what good would that do? I felt helpless. All I could do was sit, cry, and wait for it to be over. I ended up falling asleep in my old bed. I was already exhausted from my lack of sleep, and certainly crying didn't help in that respect. We will call Twyla. When we checked my parents' room, I noticed one of my mother's necklaces was missing from her drawer. That's new. It was the necklace my father had given her for their anniversary a few years back. But she couldn't have taken it with her. I remember seeing it here, checking the diner after my parents first disappeared. Did they take it? Twyla? What are you doing here? I saw you from behind the fence. You were at a funeral. We have finally locked ourselves into Twyla's route. I know this because this is who we're running into after the funeral. That's how we can tell for sure. Did another person die already? No. Well, yes, but not someone I know. Okay then. Anyways, I'm glad I ran into you here. I was actually thinking of calling you, but you're already here, so... Oh. Why? Do you need something? Yeah, there was something I wanted to check out, but you might be able to help me with it. Oh sure, I'll help. Is this still about the, the butcher and stuff? Of course it is. And what else would it be about? Ah, right. Sorry, that was silly of me to ask. I'm not sure how much help I can be, but I'll try. It's fine, you don't need to do much. You just need to stand there and ask for something. That won't be a problem for you, will it? I don't see how it would be. It seems easy enough to me. So where are we going? Follow me. It's only a few blocks down from here. I followed Twyla down the sidewalk. We didn't really talk as we walked, but I enjoyed her company nonetheless. The sky remained cloudy and the sidewalk was full of puddles we tried to avoid, until eventually we ended up at where Twyla planned to be today. It was a bookstore. One I sometimes passed by, but never really bothered to look inside. It didn't seem as cozy or as comforting as the library. The library. A bookstore. Twyla, if you needed books, why didn't we just go to the library? It's much bigger and you wouldn't even have to pay. Hey, can you, shut up? Huh? What did I tell you earlier? Oh, right. You just need me to stand there and ask for something, right? That's it. Besides, we're not here for books. We're not. No. But you don't need to worry about why we're here. I just need you to do this for me. What are we doing again? Let's just say I'm not allowed in this bookstore anymore. I mean, I'm planning on fixing that problem eventually, but I need to do this now. That's where you come in. You're gonna go in there and talk to the man at the desk. I need you to get him to look in the back somehow. Then once he does, signal back to me out here. I'll get what I need and then out. Got it? You're going to steal from them? Twyla, I don't know. I don't feel right about this. Mary, it's for the investigation. Do you think I'd steal just for the fun of it? Or do you just want people to keep dying left and right? I mean, no, of course not. But, well, sometimes you'll have to do bad things to be the good guy. But we're talking about people's lives here. Do you really want to risk someone's life because you didn't want to lie for a few minutes? I guess you have a point. I mean, if it's really helping in the investigation, then okay, fine. I'll do it. There you go. Now get in there and distract him. All right. I stepped into the store at Twyla's command. I already felt guilty before it even happened. But if this was somehow helping someone, then it was worth doing, right? As I entered, I noticed the man behind the desk. He was old and pretty scruffy. Well, he has... Okay. There's a lot to process here. The store is called Bookham. This guy is definitely old and scruffy, and he has a hook for a hand, and there's a cork capping off the end of his hook, making it safe. And the storage room has a sign on it that says, "Of the back." That's hilarious. Thank you for that. There's a poster of an anchor on his wall as well. I was surprised he was even able to see out of all the hair that covered his eyes. He seemed pretty big. And on top of it all, he had a hook for a hand. You can't make this stuff up. He certainly gave quite the first impression without even having said anything. He didn't turn to me when I entered. Could he even see me, actually? Is this who Twyla was worried about getting past? I stepped up to the counter. Sir. What do you want? Oh, I noticed you didn't have a name tag on. And what about it? Oh, well, it's just, what's your name? Who wants to know? I do? It ain't important. Oh, okay. Is there something I can help you with, ma'am? Oh, right. I'm looking for a book. That ain't too specific, Tuesday Adams. Tuesday Adams. Thank you for your thinly veiled, not quite derogatory name. Oh, it's by an author named Horace Cope. Horoscope. Horoscope. The humor. Thank you for that. Can't say I heard of them. What's the book about? The Zodiac. It's about, like, zodiac signs and astrology and stuff. So a book about astrology and zodiac signs, written by a Mr. Horoscope? Yes, that's right. I'll tell you what. I never heard of the guy, but I'll check in the back for you. Oh, thank you so much. After that exchange, the man went to check in the back for any books. I totally just stole that joke name from a popsicle stick, but he seemed to fall for it, so I guess whatever works. After he left into the back room, I signaled to Twyla that she could sneak in. Except, Twyla didn't tell me what to signal with, so I just kind of flailed my arms and hands a bit until she noticed me. I felt really bad about it, going behind that man's back like that. But if doing this meant catching someone dangerous, then Twyla was in and out quicker than I expected, as if she knew exactly where she was looking. I would have followed her, but I was waiting for that man to come back. I wonder if she still needed me, or if she went on her way after leaving, but before I could think about it too much, he came back. He said he didn't have anything like what I was looking for, but he did give me something. How to talk to ghosts. He said it looked like something I'd like. He even gave it to me free of charge. It was just taking up space, he said. Probably cost less than 30 cents to make, he said. I wished him a good day, and then I was on my way. So interesting. We get the How to Talk to Ghosts book in this route. To my surprise, Twyla was still waiting for me once I got out of the bookstore. Oh, Twyla, I'm gonna save, actually. Just in case something wrong happened. Doesn't seem right, but... You're still here? Yeah, I'm still here. What fucking took you so long? Oh well, he gave me a book and Hey, wait. Can I ask what you took from him now? Does it matter? I mean, well, kinda. He was really nice to me. And it's not as if you told me much about why we did it. Fair enough. Fine, I'll show you. But only if you get into my car with me. Huh? Well, since you're supposed to be helping me and all, I wanted to bring you to my house for an interrogation, if you will. Interrogation. The main reason I asked you to help is because of your family members were involved in a mysterious death. So I wanted to ask you some questions about them and take down some notes. But not here. I don't even like talking about this out loud. So I'll call up a car to come pick us up. You're fine coming with me, right? Oh, I mean, sure. I don't really have any other plans. Yeah, I figured. Twyla called up a car to come pick us up. Is this one of those taxi service things? No, I'm just really rich. Oh, alright. Shortly enough, a car rolled by to come pick us up. The driver came out and held the door open for Twyla and I. She crawled into the back seat and I followed suit. Buckling into the car seat, it felt incredibly strange. Croven's family always had a bit of money themselves, but never like this. Anyways, you want to see what I took, right? Yes, please. Twyla reached around and presented me with a wooden box. It wasn't until she opened it that I felt alarmed. A knife? You stole a knife from him? How did you even know he had this? That's not important, she said, closing the box and putting it back down. Is this connected to why he doesn't let you in his store anymore? No, but again, that's not important. Do you think he was using that to, Well, I can't say for sure, but it's anyone's guess. Don't you feel safer that he doesn't have it on him? I suppose. I mean, I guess, but listen, we did the right thing, trust me. Ugh. I'll give it back to him after this is all through and he's proven innocent, okay? What if he notices it's gone and thinks I took it? Well then, probably a good idea you don't go back there. We sat in silence the rest of the car ride. When I looked at Twyla, as if it was like she was staring off, very intently, at nothing at all. She looked like she was going over different ideas in her head. Deep in thought. I didn't want to disrupt her process or anything. Twyla had just told me she was rich, so rich that she had a chauffeur to drive her wherever she needed to be. But despite that, I didn't expect her to be this rich. Well, I have to leave this episode here, for I am out of time. But I think that we can knock out the the rest of Twilight. What do I know? These stories have proven to be pretty long and engaging for each of these routes. So 1 or 2 more playthroughs. 2 might be a very realistic number to look forward to. I think the next one will get through the meat of Twyla's story. The one after will get through her good and bad ending. And then together we will experience the true ending. I don't know what kinds of changes will take place during the respective routes. But I'm pretty interested to see where this will go. So I will pick this up again later. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a great day. Until next time, bye for now.